Whatever you call it, betrayal, cheating, infidelity, is brutal. And the question that comes up, as you can imagine, if you're normal, if you're human, is if you have been betrayed, cheated on, been the subject of infidelity, like, should we just go our separate ways? Should this just be the end? Should we just let go of this marriage relationship and just figure out how to do life without each other? I think it's a fair question, understandable question, because there is no pain when it comes to relationships like the pain of betrayal, trauma. I liken it to an emotional tsunami. So whenever I'm working with couples who have been through it, this is a question that comes up time and time again. Hey, I'm Rod Harrison. I am a relationships expert, executive marriage coach. I work with people who have been wildly successful in their lives, in their professions, and they're succeeding publicly, but not always succeeding privately in the world of their marriages. So I help them get their wits about them. I help them think with a different perspective. I help them um, gain some tools and some understanding of how to actually succeed in their public life, their profession, and in their private life, in their marriage and family relationships. And it's quite an honor to do that with people. I'm not a guru. I don't have all the answers, but I've been around this for a minute, and I've been really encouraged to see how many people actually go from being blah in their marriages to wow. And the transformation is real and it is absolutely possible. So if you're in that space, hey, take courage today, right? You can have a transformed marriage, just like so many of the couples that I work with. All right, so here at Dream Marriage, we just take on all sorts of really real topics. We don't play around. We're not tiptoeing through the tulips. We're getting right into it. And today we're talking about the subject of infidelity and whether when it happens we should just go our own separate ways. I know some of y'all out there like this guy is really tripping. Like, why is this even a discussion? Like, she cheated on me. He cheated on me. We ought to be done. It's over. Bam, I'm done. That's your choice. You can do whatever you want to do. And some people do that. Some people don't. But there's some things that you should consider when infidelity happens. I often tell my clients who are trying to recover from infidelity that on D Day, we call that disclosure day, like, hey, don't make any permanent big decisions. Like, it's not the time to make decisions. And when you're at your rawest, most painful place in life because of infidelity, like, don't make decisions that you may think differently about a year from now, 6 months from now. I know it's hard stuff, but let me give you some context here. So I think it's important first of all to recognize one that not all infidelity is intended to destroy your spouse. Not everybody who commits infidelity, right, who commits betrayal, is actually a horrible person. Now, some people are. Let's keep it 100 up in here because that's what we do here at Dream Marriage. Like, we're not gonna play around with this. If you cruddy, you're cruddy. If you just don't care about nobody but yourself, right? We're gonna call you out, call it what it is. But some people commit infidelity for reasons that they don't even know fully. They might know what they were after trying to get, but they don't even know what's been going on the inside of them. And when they come to clarity about the destruction that they caused, right? That they're about to lose this marriage and their family, and all that goes with this painful betrayal. Something awakens, and they can begin actually to be coached. So I think we have to take that into account. Now, if you've been on the bad end of betrayal, like, let me just say this to you, we don't take that lightly. I would never take that lightly. I can't even, I just, my heart breaks for you to have experienced that, because nobody gets married placing their trust in their spouse expecting to be cheated on, even if your spouse cheated on you before you got married. Now, yeah, hold on to that one right there, because some of us are like, you saw the infidelity, right? What was stepping outside of the relationship before you got married. I don't know why you didn't think it was going to happen after you got married. The likelihood is much higher, but here's my point. You did not get married expecting to be cheated on, expecting to have to deal with infidelity. I know there's a whole collection of people who they just live with it. They knew it was happening before they got married. They knew it was happening when they married, and they just stayed married, and they just act like nothing was going on. That's not healthy, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're not doing that. But there are people who commit infidelity. They betray their spouse's trust, and it was not to destroy their spouse. It's because they had so much stuff going on inside of their life. Like I've been working with clients who suffered so much neglect when they were children that the only way they knew how to anesthetize the pain along their journey was through sex. And they never got that fixed before they got married. They thought that getting married was going to fix it. In fact, a lot of people I work with, right, they're like, if I get married, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm like, nah, that's not going to fix it. Like, let's fix it first, then let's see if you're ready for marriage. But I hope you're tracking with me. Like, not all infidelity is intended to destroy the other person. Now, the pain is the same, no matter what the intention was. The pain is absolutely the same. Here, let me give you some more perspective. Could this difficult season where there's been infidelity in your marriage be an opportunity for both of you to grow deeper, to grow healthier, to finally put some stuff on the table that you've been skating through, living on the surface with, right? Doing the shallow marriage thing, like you balling, you making your money, your careers are on fleek, you drive what you want to drive, you wear what you want to wear, you live where you want to live, you vacation where you want to vacation, but it's always been a little shallow. Could it be that this infidelity is an opportunity to actually do some real hard emotional relationship trauma work in your individual lives and in your married life? Could this be your opportunity to grow and to grow up? Now, truthfully, some people ain't up for that kind of work. So, that's your decision to make. Some people not up for that kind of work. But if you're up for some real work, like, that can really, really set you on a whole new course for your marriage. I want to share a couple other things with some perspective, but before we do, let me share with you this good news about a free gift I have for you. Okay, just before we continue with this episode of Dream Marriage with yours truly, Rod Harrison, I want to tell you about a great resource that's going to really help your marriage, your love life, your relationship. In fact, it'll help every facet of your life. This is my breakthrough communications workshop for couples. I want you to get a breakthrough in your communication. Just go to the description and click on the link for the free, yep, you heard it, the free workshop. Let me tell you, this is not a surface level workshop. This is something that will really help you experience transformation in your communication. And so grab the free workshop and enjoy it. Let it be my gift to you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Let's get back to the episode right here at Dream Marriage. Hey, friends, welcome back to the episode here at Dream Marriage. We're talking about whether you should just say sayonara if infidelity happens in your marriage. Like, should you just, nah, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm done. Peace. I'm out. Is that the way it should go? It's a great question. And so talked about a couple of perspectives that you want to think about if you happen to be in that situation. Here are a couple other things that would be helpful to think about, and that is that divorce is costly. Costly. Okay, let me take you one level deeper. And the price is not always the same as the cost. Divorce is costly. We're not just talking about the price of paying attorneys, because when you are very successful in what you do, and when there are a lot of assets that come into the picture, when there are very complex dynamics in your relationship, and I hope that a prenup is not one of them. Somebody got to talk to y'all like this, because y'all nobody tells you this stuff. Like, stay away from prenups. Anyway, it's costly. The price of attorneys, like, people on average, they have to come up with 15 grand for an attorney. When your life is more complex because there are more resources and more assets and more, you know, needs and challenges, it can be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, to say nothing of alimony and child support and all of those things. Yeah, it can get pricey, but it's also very costly. That's the price. The cost is the cost to your emotional well-being, right? If there's a possibility that you could recover together from this, you could be so much healthier. The cost to the children, if children are involved, oh my goodness. I had one guy, a friend of mine, I worked alongside him when I was a NFL chaplain and life coach and advisor, and he kept trying to convince me on the sideline. Right, we were talking about him leaving his wife, and he was like, "Yeah, the kids will be okay." I said, "No, they won't be okay. They will not. They're resilient, and that ultimately they will have to figure it out." I said, "But the damage that you'll do to them will be extraordinary." He died a few years ago, unfortunately, but the toll that the divorce took on his children was almost beyond words. The mental anguish, the emotional anguish, the anger, the resentment. It was extraordinary. Now, he looked good driving his Porsche with his new boo on his side, but the cost to his kids was extraordinary. So you gotta you gotta remember that the price, the cost, the cost more than the price, right, is extraordinary. Take that into account. Which brings me to my next point. Do you both want to do some very focused work? Right? Sometimes when there's a discovery or a disclosure of infidelity, after going through the raw emotional tsunami of it all and the dust settling a little bit, there's an openness to doing some work. And there's different kinds of works that's got to be done, right? There's got to be some individual work. We recommend couples work, and group work can be very helpful. So it's a lot of work. Like, you don't get into betrayal and infidelity like overnight, and oftentimes when it's been serial in nature, right? It's not going to be like, okay, 2 months and we're going to do some work and we'll be done. No, it don't work like that. So if both people want to do the work, and I think that's the greatest setup for helping a couple heal and recover from infidelity, because it's absolutely possible. I've seen many couples recover because they were both willing to do the work. So, do both parties in the marriage want to do the work? If they both want to do the work, there's a great chance, there's a high probability that they're going to recover and have an amazing, amazing marriage. So that leads me to my final question, which is, What if what's on the other side of the infidelity is your dream marriage? Like, what if you could get beyond this and actually have the marriage that you dreamed of before you got married? How about that idea? And if that's possible, and it is, as I shared a moment ago, it's quite possible. Because it's possible, you may want to rethink whether you should just say, I'm out. Peace. I'm not doing this with you. Because if both of you want to do some work, then the possibility and the probability is high that you'll actually walk to your dream marriage. One of my dear mentors several years back called me. I was living in California, and he was a man I respected deeply. Had a brilliant career in medicine. His wife was as sweet as could be. They're really like surrogate parents to me as I was coming out of college. And while I was in the early years of my work with college athletes, I got a call and said that he had been unfaithful to his wife. And it was mind blowing. You would not imagine that this couple would be going through infidelity with four amazing children, right? They were all raised in church. And I mean, they had a wonderful home, wonderful family, wonderful medical practice, brilliant. And it just did not make any sense. And they chose to work on their marriage. Well, 2 years ago, I went to her funeral. They called me and my wife Sherry said, "Hey, just want to let you know that his wife passed, and we wanted to make sure that you knew we wanted to be no place else." At that funeral, her husband talked about the love that they had for one another. I'm not talking about fake love, I'm talking about real love. They recovered, is what I'm trying to tell you. And for more than 25 years after that infidelity, they were stronger than ever. And she died as a result of a car accident that the two of them were in. But he was right there by her side, and they walked hand in hand together. So I'm just saying, you can recover. Should you say sayonara after there's been infidelity? It's really your call, but I would argue, because I'm a marriage coach, I'm not a divorce coach. I tell people that all the time. If you want a divorce, don't call me. I can't help you. I can't tell you how to divorce because that's not my expertise. I understand people get divorced. I understand that sometimes it's necessary. It has its place. I'm not putting anyone down, but I'm simply saying that you can recover. There are a lot of reasons why you can, and so be very careful about how you make the decision whether you will stay or go. All right. Hey, this is Rod Harrison with Dream Marriage. I'm so glad you were here today. I want to remind you one more time, don't forget the couples communication workshop. If you want to break through in your communication, please go into check out the description, hit the link. There's some other resources down there that'll be absolutely helpful to you and to your marriage. So make sure you get those. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode right here at Dream Marriage with your guy, yours truly, Rod Harrison. Hey, I appreciate you more than you realize. Thank you for the honor to serve you on this amazing platform. And I hope you're gaining great value in your marriage or future marriage, wherever you might be on the journey. See you soon.